Yeah, it's all part of the acoustic communication.
Certainly on the down.
Are you intervening? So I had a big sticker put out so that come there.
Wishing I brought gloves today.
I don't do it for these.
It was go back 100 metres from the tree when you go down the valley, which I thought was that tree when we came. So we went down from that tree because that's where I thought it was.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'll go back from there where that heathland is. Is that all right?
So will you text me when you're 5?
Yeah.
Or you can shout out if you want.
What? I mean, you can just start recording anyway. You'll get half an hour in anyway.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
If you want to do, if you've got enough
Yeah, I've got
juice.
new back. We've been taking sound recordings of the hungry track habitat. We're kind of exploring the way the trees, even probably the human noises affect sound, and we're also measuring our own emotional response to the sound. So we're using microphones from various areas and sort of making this great big outside room filled with the sound. I'll pick up the birds. We have to have them on quite high to monitor. But Shane's very interested in, so it's more than just a kind of a sound mapping exercise. I think from a scientific point of view, Shane's interested in how the birds might react differently. So he's recording even up on the road to try and kind of ascertain or collect the sounds of birds in response. Do they respond to? Do they get louder to try and compete with the aeroplanes, or do they kind of match the pelotons of cyclists riding by? I can hear that lyrebird now. It's quite amazing. And also seasonal. So we've been taking it every month. So there's a change of bird life and bird response, I think, according to season. So that's another factor. There's so many factors really. And how we respond to sound. Birds purely functional in their sound recording? Is it about food, territory, competition, mating? And how do we respond to sound? How can you measure an emotional response to sound? That's really quite difficult, but really interesting, because I think we sometimes negate that. We just measure the amount of sound rather than how we may feel about it. What's our perception of it?
So we have a mic that's facing north. That's going to be, as you walk in, that'll be the what you hear out of the front speaker. This Omni, which will be picks up the whole spherical environment. It'll be the rear speaker, so as you walk in, you kind of have behind you and above you, you'll have this overall kind of presence of the whole environment that we're in. And then these ones will be the rear speakers. They're 180 degrees. They'll be kind of similar to almost being like at 90 degrees to you as you walk in. And then we've got the front pair of speakers, which are like a conventional stereo, which are at 60 degrees to you. So that's the idea. So I've kind of worked out where they are here and how they then translate to the speaker placements in the space. And that's a very different thing to what we've been doing with the other, where we've had 3 or 4 recorders, because I have Greg's, which is over on the western side, over on the left, coming out of the left side of the room. Then that recorder down there is in the centre, and then this other recorder, which is up here, is coming out of the right side of the room. So we've got 2 at the moment. We're developing 2 sorts of orientations, if you like, of how we use speakers in terms of how they're responding to the environment. So this is more now a listener location, like I said, rather than a totality spatial kind of representation.
Kind of interesting to see what happens with the effect, because they're so far apart. Normally they've been about 50 metres apart maximum, and so you pick up, they seem to be coordinated well, but it'll be interesting. We're about 1 kilometre away, aren't we? So yeah, be interesting. Today was amazing with the lyrebird. Hadn't heard them for that long, so each time is quite different. Really, it's special here. We're going to get some of the recordings, so I'm going to do a stop cut where I just take a photo every 15 seconds and just show one emerging from one we've already done. So, yeah.